She's one of the hottest radio personalities in the country, unafraid to ask the tough questions, informed, engaged, and in touch with what's happening in your neighborhood, across the country, and around the world. Frankie has a big mouth with big name guests, big topics, big ideas, and solutions. Now, here's your host, Frankie Darcell.
And welcome to Frankie Has a Big Mouth with big guests, big names, big ideas, and big solutions. Look, my guest is laughing already. I got to ask you, first of all, Motown recording artist Kim is with me. Everybody laughs, Kim, when they hear that. Frankie has a big mouth.
Frankie
you giggled. I heard you.
It caught me off guard. It caught me off guard. You know what I'm saying?
I can think Hiram Jackson, the CEO of Real Times Media. He said, Frankie, but I think it's a passionate thing. It's a passionate thing. What do you think about, you are a marketing genius. First of all, you are everywhere. What do you think of the name of the show? First of all, it's one of the fastest growing podcasts on the internet. So shout out to everybody involved. What do you think of the name Frankie Has a Big Mouth?
I'm scared. Right. I think it's fitting, right? It's startling, and it gets your attention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And me knowing you, and I don't know if I've ever told you this. When I used to, like, back in the day, when I used to listen to the radio and I'd hear you in the radio before I officially became a recording artist on the other side of my life, I would listen to you, and then when they said that I had my first interview with you, I was scared. I'm like, I'm going on with Frankie Darcell. I'd be listening to her on the drive home in my hot 1987 Toyota Tercel, and like, she's going in on cats.
Yes. You know, And you know, Kim, when we think back to that time, I think about the stuff that I was talking about, because I mean, there was no limit to the stuff I would talk about when a lot of people weren't doing that. Now we got podcasts, everybody's talking about everything. But, I've always tried to be fair. That is so funny. I never knew that. Never knew that. Let me go back for people, and we're going to talk about the big project that you've got going on right now. First of all, I absolutely love you to life. I do. You've just always been an incredible person. I've been trying to get you to do a reality show. We'll talk about that later. But listen, when you mentioned the first time you came into the radio show, because I can remember Woodward Avenue in Detroit, Michigan, there was a club called Blue. People were standing up at Blue long before, anything was said. I remember a good friend of mine said, you got to come see this guy. And, 7:00, I'm off there. I'm ready to go home. Walked in. And plus, I don't do no whole bunch of standing up. And it was only standing in the club. And it had this raised stage. And there you were. And there you were on stage. I'm like, wow, this dude is a freaking amazing. I mean, how long ago was that, Kim?
That's 20 years at least.
Wow.
If not 21, right? I started selling my first album, Chemistry, literally out of the trunk of my car. In November. That's 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
So that's two decades since I've had a real job.
Love it. When you look back, did you ever think you would be in this place, in this space?
Always saw myself being in the music business. I was always certain about what it was I wanted to do with my life. But actually, but seeing it in application, living it in application, is still, it's really kind of an amazing thing, And I joke about not having a job for 20 years, but seriously, somebody asked me, an interviewer asked me, well, what's the greatest moment? What's the best thing that has happened to you, in your career? And I'm like, dude, that I have a career,
right.
That I'm actually, that we're still doing it, and I'm very grateful for that.
Listen, so 20 years later, we're going to talk about some of your projects, but the big project right now is that you were recording over a 2-night period. your
Yeah.
album live. Talk about that.
Yeah, people have been asking me to record a live album for a long time, and in the tradition of Marvin Gaye and Earth, Wind and Fire and those live albums that we hear cuts played from on the radio, for the last 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And they graciously, put me in that same
Yeah.
category and see
Yeah.
my music and my work in that same light. But I just
Yeah.
never felt that it was, time, and now, after 20, 20, if it ain't time in 20 years, then
Yeah.
if not now, then when,
Then win, right? Yeah.
and, um, and to be able to have everything culminate to this moment of these shows down at the Aretha, formerly Shane Park,
Hmm.
um, to be able to record in Detroit, in the city where where my career was launched, really, right?
Yeah.
It was this music, um, this career, this journey was built on the love of Detroit,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's only right, to come to Detroit and record a
Yeah,
live album.
and the energy really of a, because people listen to your CDs, people
Yeah,
listen to it on the internet, however people are listening to music now. But the energy of live music, hands
yeah,
down, you can't duplicate that. It's a whole different sound, and you have a whole different vibe. First of all, Hunty, your dances are just the bomb. So you
yeah.
you you kind of showed a different part of your stage presentation as well. Talk about the energy and that addition as you've grown to expand what you do on stage.
Right, because when I first started out, it was just me. When you came to see me at Club Blue, it was just me at a keyboard. I
That's
never
right.
got up. Right, I was just sitting down in front of the keyboard and my with the rhythm section, bass, drums, and
Yeah.
guitar, and me. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what it
Yeah. Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then but then as things, as my career progressed and I evolved as a performer, it's like, you got to be able to engage the audience, right? The vibe on the album is one thing, and then people are surprised because they come to the show and they think that they think that it's going to be that laid back, and it
Yeah. Yeah.
is that,
Yeah.
but it's
Your
like,
energy is incredible. You go into a whole different. Listen, I'm going to share what year was that? I don't know. We don't care about the year, but okay. So I have always had a thing about being a singer. Right now, like everybody else, I can sing in the shower. One year, Kim decided that he was going to perform then Shane Park at now the Aretha, and I just love the fact that you went back into your history and you invited and auditioned some young people from some high schools, invited them to perform with you at then Shane Park. Then you brought some people on the stage with you that you had played with over the years and then you called me and said, Frankie, you said you want to sing with me. You sure? I was like, sure, I'll do it. Man, when I just want the audience to know, when I showed up at rehearsal, because Kim and I kick it, we laugh, whatever. You were so on 199. I walked in, you were like, we need this and this. Wait a minute, let me hear that. Let me hear this. I was like, what in the hell have I got myself into? You talking about interviewing with me for the first time? I was horrified. Kim, you may not know this. I called the guy I was dating at the time right after we performed. You're like, no, Frankie, bring it up some. I was like, I ain't no real singer. You're like, come a little bit. I got you. You just do this. You just do that. And I was horrified. I was sweating bullets. I came off the stage after rehearsal. I called the guy I was dating. I said, I think I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. He was like, I don't know why you did it anyway. You ain't no real singer. I hung up on him. I never talked to him again. We broke up that day. I was like, I need some love and support.
right, looking for some encouragement.
Listen, I spent about $1,000 on a dress. I showed up that night, Kim. I'm telling you, there are a couple of things that I've wanted to do, and God has treated me well. I've had a blessed life, right? One of the things I always wanted to do was to be a performer in my other life. You gave me that moment because when it was my turn, I turned to Fallon, my daughter, and she said, Ma, just have fun.
Yeah.
She was backstage and
Yeah.
she said, "Ma, just have fun." And I looked at you and you were like, "I got you." You were like, "I got you." I blacked totally out, Kim. I don't even remember. But people were applauding. I was like, so I must have done well. I
Yeah.
love you for that moment, man.
Nah, that's and that's love, man. I mean, and to have you on stage in the city that loves
I was
you.
cute too.
You know what I
I
mean?
said if they talk about me, they can't say I wasn't cute. That's for
It was
sure.
good. It was good, right? It was good. I told you you could trust me. I wasn't gonna let you come up there and jack me up. Right? I'm gonna make sure you look right.
I never even thought. I was so busy being selfish, I wasn't thinking about that. This girl, I don't care what radio she on, she ain't gonna jack up my show. You did. You said, "Trust me." You said, "Trust me, I got you." That
Yeah, it was
was,
good.
Kim, a moment. And that was before we could record on cell phones and all that kind of
Right.
thing. So I have that memory in my heart, my mind, and my spirit. And I just appreciate you so much for that. I do. That's in my top 5 of my top 10 list of all time greatest moments. It really was. That was amazing. That was
That's
amazing.
right.
So listen, I beat Rick Ross. So you doing some stuff with Rick Ross. Kim performed with Frankie Darcell before Rick Ross. Talk about the Rick Ross project.
Rick Ross is on a song called "Right on Time." That's on the Full Circle EP that is out now. We shot a video for it in Atlanta, and and we had a lot of fun. It's a classic Kim
Yeah.
groove, co-written by Babyface. It was me, Babyface, and Rick Ross. Babyface not singing, but
Yeah.
he helped craft the record. So, really, really, really excited about it. It's at radio right now, doing his thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, you
Yeah.
know,
So how did you pick Rick Ross?
because I write songs, and then I don't start out saying that, okay, I want to put a rapper on a song. I start
Hmm.
out, I write the song, I sing my part, and then there's music left. I'm like, well, I said everything I gotta say.
Right.
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 Right, it's verse chorus, I'm done. And the bridge is like, I'm done, I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah.
This requires, it requires something else. And this song required a rapper. And once I identified what the song needed, then the question is, well, who is that person?
Yeah.
Who is
Yeah.
going to set this song up nicely. And it was Rick Ross. And we're both in Georgia, so
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
was a no-brainer. Yeah.
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 Listen, as we get ready to close, thank you for your time. I know you've been on the road how many months this go round? It's been at least
Oh,
what, 5 or 6 months? And
yeah,
this
we've
is
been
just
we've been going at it.
yeah. So are you gonna do an international leg of your tour too? Because what you're gonna be on the road, what, another 2 years?
Well, we have some dates. We'll be celebrating my 20th anniversary all next year, and we have some dates lined up for the first quarter, like starting in February.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I've been overseas, and and I know, and people may feel some type of way about me saying this, but like, dude, I'm good on American soil. You know what I'm
I
saying?
get it. I
Right?
get it.
Everything going on in the world today, dude. It's like, you know
Yeah.
what, yo,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'll wait until things normalize a little bit,
Yeah.
if that ever happens.
Yeah. If that ever happens. And listen, your journey as an artist, as a single man, and now with a wife, beautiful children and family. And you talk about that in your music. When we talk
Yeah,
about love, we talk about romance, we talk about black love, we talk about family. You make no bones about how much you love your wife and your family. Much respect for that, brother. Love that,
thank
because
you.
you can't really sing love music. And I'm not saying a person has to be married to sing love music, but when you are in
Right.
love and you're singing love songs, it's great to hear the singer talk about love songs. Because look, with the internet now, we know what's going on with some people, for real, for real.
Right,
But
right.
you do that in your music.
But
Talk about
now
your
I'm bona
family and
fide.
being an artist, huh?
Now I'm bona fide. I'm bona fide now,
Bonafide.
right? Right.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm writing songs for 2 decades, man, and I never really actually, I'm like, yeah, maybe one day, but I don't know that I ever really saw myself, being married and settling down. And today I see all of those songs that I was writing. They're that it doesn't negate the fact that I wasn't married. Doesn't negate their authenticity, right? Because now I see those songs as prayers. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
That brought the love of my life into my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I definitely speak from like I know now. Right? My family, when I walk out of the house, it's like I used to do this. I was just doing it for me, and now, I'm doing it. This is my family's legacy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm they support me and strengthen me in this season of my life to be able to do this season of my life at the highest possible level.
Yeah. Now you have a beautiful daughter, and you have two little people. Just talk about how daddy plays a role in who and what you are. And look, I'm waiting for you to sing the song about being a daddy and the kids. You might not be able to sing that one, right? But
Yeah,
go ahead.
The brand,
Wouldn't it be kind
won't
of
be
cool
able
to do it? Wouldn't it be cool to do a nursery? Listen, Kim's nursery rhyme album for kids when they hit like
No, dig, right?
yeah.
I had that. I've had that conversation. Chemistry for kids. I've had that conversation.
Listen,
and now from that perspective, and now I'm in the house with my kids, dude. It's like from the oldest, we have 6 between us. The oldest is 27, and the youngest one just turned 1. Right? That ain't the way the Lord had it set up to do it, but we here now.
All right, we making it work. We making it work. Right. Wow. What did you call it? Kim, what did you call it for kids?
Chemistry for kids. Chemistry for kids.
Come on now.
Yeah. There you
that
go.
That was just confirmed. I think it would be hot. Nobody's done it.
And everything I do in the house is funny. We should be taping that, right? Because everything I do in the house with the little kids, everything I do at the house with the little kids, it becomes a song. It becomes, I turn it right into a thing, right? We got this. It's time to go night night. Time to go night night. Doom doom doom.
Yeah. Any singers? Any singers in the crew? Any singers in the crew? Any performers? Any musicians?
Yeah, all of them. All of them are musically inclined. And actually, Troy's working on the deal right now. She's getting ready to close the deal. Praise Jesus.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, cool. I love you to life. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate you so much. Anything you want to share with us before you go?
No, I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you. We're looking for. Well, last thing, how are you going to distribute? Is the live version is going to be,
We'll have some vinyl.
How soon? How soon can we look forward to that?
I'm hoping to get it done in time for the holiday.
Yay. Very good. Well, listen, on behalf of everyone at the Black Information Network, iHeartRadio, Podcast Network, WDAS Philadelphia, the Michigan Chronicle, and all of its affiliate papers from the Atlanta Daily World Tribune, the New Pittsburgh Carrier, and the Chicago Defender. We're going to be on all of that. Thank you for doing the podcast. We're going to air the podcast, of course, where all podcasts can be heard. And, of course, the audio will be on the iHeartRadio network and all of my radio shows around the nation. So thank you for sharing your story with all of my people. With
Frankie Darcell, Hall of Famer.
Did you listen? I waited 35 years for that.
Yeah.
35 years for that. Thank you for mentioning that. I am excited and over the moon. And out of all of my accomplishments, and I've had many, this one means so very much. Because when I went to Morgan State University, Kim, I didn't have a scholarship. I was a walk-on. I had 2 scholarships to 2 little schools in North Carolina. I said, I'm not going there. My parents could afford the first semester. And I knew I had to get a scholarship. And I played and worked my behind off and played for 4 years, one of the winningest teams in Baltimore, Morgan State University. So to go into the Hall of Fame, the school was built and started in 1867, only 290 some athletes have been accepted into the Hall of Fame. So I am so humbled to be one of those going in 2022. You talk about that, it just takes me back. I got a tear in my eye. I'm excited. It's happening October 19th, homecoming weekend in Baltimore. So yeah, thank you for mentioning that. I am truly excited.
Good for you.
Truly excited.
Well
thank you.
Deserved, and you should be.
Thank you. Motown recording artist Kim is my guest. Thank you, guys. Don't forget, check us out wherever you watch your podcast. I'm Frankie Darcell for Frankie Has a Big Mouth. And you can see I have big guests as well. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Frankie Has a Big Mouth. Find us on the iHeartRadio app, the Black Information Network, Real Times Media, or wherever you get your podcast. We'll see you next time for more compelling conversations.